What is going on, fellow cultists? Welcome to Hearts of Iron 4, or to be a little bit more specific, the Kaiserreich mod. We're gonna just jump right in and get into the actual game itself so that I can explain to you the rules of the challenge, which is going to be only using the FCM 36 or the cone for the entirety of the game, and just let's see if we can retake France. More on that in a second. So, you would think by clicking on this video, if you're familiar with what the cone is or the FCM 36, that we'd be playing as the commune of France or just mainland France. But for ease of recording, I'm going to be trying as the French Republic first so that I have a little bit of an easier time and we can just kind of do a proof of concept. Let's see if this actually works, and then we can go up against the German Empire and everything with an army of nothing but light tanks. But I actually had to get some help to get this to work because base game Kaiserreich for some reason uses the default tanks for the French Republic, and that means there's no FCM 36, it's just light tank 2. So huge shout out to the guy on Fiverr that I found who I was able to commission to get the mod made. I'll leave a link to both the mod and to him in the description. I would highly recommend him if you need maybe a minor mod or something for Hearts of Iron. He did a very good job and was very easy to work with, so special thanks to him. I very much appreciate it, and it was a very reasonable price to get it done, so thank you very much. Goodness, Kaiserreich takes forever to load. Okay, and here we are, loaded in as the French Republic. So if you're not super familiar with what Kaiserreich is, I'll give you a very, very brief synopsis. Basically, World War I, Germany won instead of, losing like they actually did. And that caused a lot of upheaval in the viewpoints of most nations. Like, you've got Britain becoming communist, same with France becoming communist. Russia is, I believe, Russia is actually democratic or some sort of non-communist state. So things are a bit different in this, but the main thing that is what we're focused on is not Italy being split up into like 4 different regions, but the fact that we are the French Republic, which is made up of most of the French territory that was in Africa. So what makes this a little bit easier for us in terms of this challenge is that this region is a lot easier to use tanks on because there's less mountains. I say that as there's a mountain range here, but there's less mountains, and the terrain tends to be a little bit more forgiving for tanks, although the infrastructure will be a bit of an issue, I would assume. But we're going to go ahead and start right off by making our first research point, the FCM 36. And this is what I had to get modded in here. This originally was just the generic HOI tree. So now we have actually all of the French tanks in here, which opens it up to potentially more videos in the future. So we'll see about that. But that leads me into my first point that I'd like to make to all of you watching right now. Please do leave down in the comments exactly what you'd like to see me include in the videos versus cut out, because that's kind of why I haven't made a HOI video yet. They're kind of a difficult type of video to make and even stream, because HOI is such a long-winded game. I don't want to include too much and have everybody be bored, or include too little and have people feel like they're watching a PowerPoint presentation of random crap happening. So if you've maybe watched HOI videos or you're just familiar with how HOI is, please do leave a comment down below and let me know what you think you'd like to see and just what I should include overall over the course of this playthrough. My main goal in this series is we're going to try to retake the Commune of France. That's what the focus tree of the French Republic is made to do, essentially. And the way that we're most likely going to have to do that is go through Spain, but we'll get into that later. Now, the rules I have set for myself. Obviously, I can only use the cone, but I've given myself a little bit more leeway on that in terms of there's a couple other things I'm going to allow myself to use, which those include the the artillery cone and the anti-aircraft cone. I can't use this because it's the AMR-35, which is a completely separate vehicle from the FCM-36. So I cannot use the anti-tank, quote-unquote, variant in this. And I'm also going to allow myself to use the maintenance company because this does not actually require any guns or anything. It does require manpower, but it does not require guns or anything aside from the cone to use, which this may extend to, because like if you look at this, it actually requires other sort of things here. If you guys think that it would be okay to include maybe like an armored recon company or things like that, also let me know in the comments, and we'll see about working that stuff in. I'm not super familiar with HOI. I've played it quite a bit, but as anybody who's played this game knows, as much as you can learn, there's always more to learn with this game. Now, to what we currently have as our divisions right now, I'm going to hold on to these for the time being, just purely to deter anybody from declaring war on us because we don't have a standing army, and also just until we can actually mobilize our tanks, because realistically, a nation's not just going to disband its army to wait for something new. So that's going to be sort of a little bit, maybe you guys won't like that, but if you want me to just disband them right away, I will do that. And to get rid of all of our aircraft and stuff, which we will not be using, I'll just lend-lease that away and just cancel the production line. I'll hold on to the ships just in case we need to do a naval landing, which that'd be a feat. But we will need that. I'm not going to actually make any more of it, so if we lose all those ships, we're going to have to figure something out, like going all the way around to get to France, but we'll cross that bridge when we get to it. Until then, we're going to go ahead and research the maintenance company, like I said, and we will also start researching the electronic mechanical engineering, because the main thing that we are going to have to do is increase our fuel supply, because running a lot of tanks takes a lot of fuel, and upping our production line, because making a lot of tank divisions requires a lot of tanks. So we're going to need our factories to be pumping out as many tanks as we possibly can. Okay, so we have everything assigned now. I went ahead and picked a focus. We're going to be doing the Saharan census. I also have deleted a few of the production lines, just the ones that made light tanks and stuff. For the time being, we're going to maintain these ones, producing the equipment that is needed for these. We're just going to disband them all eventually, but the fact is the supply lines are already there for building things, and we can supply other nations with those arms while we're going, which will give us army experience, which is very important, since we're going to have to basically build an entire division template, which we do have one, but we still need military experience to be able to reassign things around. And I think this is about where I'll leave it for the first episode. I want to record more of this, obviously, but at the same time, I really want to get this video out there so that you guys can give me feedback on how to do the future videos, because honestly, I don't know. I'm very interested to see what you guys think. And we've got everything set up now, so let me know what you think of the series idea in general. And let's see if we can retake France. Please do leave a like on the video if you enjoyed, and if you like the concept. I'm sure I'm going to be doing a lot more HOI in the future, so also subscribe if you're new to the channel, and I will catch you on the next episode when we will get our cones and start building.